This is for all of you dreamers out there. Sit back, relax, open up your minds, and get ready to feel the vibes.
This is why you need DNA shed testing in your reptile game. Unlock your reptile's genetic secrets with Charlie Williams at Grey Rider Reptiles and ShedTesting.com. Charlie's passion for reptiles is unmatched, and he's bringing his expertise right to your home with ShedTesting.com. It's a game changer for breeders and pet owners alike. Simply collect, package, and send off your reptile's shed. Easy, right? Within days, get accurate genetic insights that can revolutionize your breeding season. Whether you're a ball python breeder or a curious pet owner, ShedTesting.com offers fast turnaround times and reliable results. Plus, with Charlie's vast network and partnerships, you're not just getting a service, you're joining a community. So what are you waiting for? Visit ShedTesting.com now and take your breeding game to the next level. Charlie Williams and Grey Rider Reptiles are ready to help you.
Are you ready for a podcast that blends mystery, crime, and a whole lot of laughs? Then look no further than The Fat Man Live and Snakes and the Fat Man, the podcast that keeps you on the edge of your seat, all while never taking itself too seriously. Join Chris Heaton as he dives deep into the reptile world with his unique blend of humor, insight, and, well, let's just say, colorful commentary. No topic is off limits. The Fat Man himself will bring you the latest from the world of reptiles and downright bizarre, all with his signature humor. So grab your headphones, your sense of humor, and get ready for a ride of your life. It's Fat Man every other Sunday and Snakes and the Fat Man on the 1st and 15th of every month. Only on the Fat Man Nation.
I'm sticking around. Yeah, I'm sticking around even though I don't do this shit anymore. But I love promoting other people.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Sky's the Limit podcast. We got a really amazing show for you tonight. I already went through with the sponsorships. So let's go ahead and get through these shout outs real quick. And JNS, Mike, James Perry, what's going on? Genetic Fusion, what's going on? Golf Reptiles, how you doing tonight? Let's see who else we have here. Audacious Balls, how you doing tonight? Sean O'Connor, how you doing? Marcus and Tiffany, thanks for dropping in tonight. We have Nikki from Irresistibles, thanks for dropping in. Eric Smith from ERS, thanks for coming out tonight. Christine, thanks you for coming out. And with that, Sean, if you want to go ahead and announce our guest.
Without further ado. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a real treat for you today. When you talk about legends in the reptile industry, there is one name that stands tall, Billy Rowe of Mutation Creation Canada. This man has not only set the bar, but continues to raise it each and every day, producing some of the most breathtaking ball python combos the world has ever seen. Billy, your passion, innovation, and sheer dedication to this craft have made you a household name in the reptile community. You've inspired countless breeders to think bigger, work harder, and dream wilder. From your insane pairings to your game-changing approach to recessives, you've earned the respect of breeders worldwide. So today, we're honored to have you here. Thank you, for everything you've done for the community, and welcome to the show, Billy Rowe, Mutation Creation Canada.
Kaboom! What's up, guys?
What's up, Billy? Welcome in.
How you doing, man?
Good.
Where did there he is? I said, where did Brian go?
Yeah.
How's everyone doing on Saturday evening?
Doing excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you, Rosa, for coming in.
It's warming up a little bit here in Michigan now, so
Yeah, same here. Thank God.
Yeah.
Snow's a little bit melting. We still got lots of it, but
yeah, it's going to be 40 on Monday and Tuesday, so that's a big warm up from the teens.
awesome.
So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. So, Mike, if you want to go ahead and start off with your questions.
Yeah, Billy, since I know you used to do Norway rats and African soft furs. Have you noticed a big difference with them being lean and growing faster with the ASFs compared to the Norway rats? Because I know they have more fat.
Yeah. So honestly, I haven't, and I haven't really sat there and tried to weigh like this is the weight of the rodent that I'm weighing or that I'm feeding. And what an ass kiss intro. Sabri didn't write that. Oh my God. Oh, Chris, you're the best. Oh my God. He's awesome. I love Chris.
Yeah, I love Chris eating, man. Yeah.
Starting to show off right. Bam.
Right.
Oh my God. So yeah, I'm not really documenting it. So and I don't have time to. I wish I did. Like I'm starting to do things a lot now with Husbandry Pro and document stuff because it's just so easy. Scan, hit, done, and it's and then I can go back to it later. But weighing the rodents, like what size of rodent, whether it's Norwegian at this weight and an ASF at this weight, I haven't really compared. But even back in the day when I just strictly did Norwegians. And the reason why I got on feeding every other week, especially for my, my holdbacks and my adults, was we had a weird, I believe it was like August, about 6-7 years ago. It got so hot. It was the hottest month for like 3 weeks and then the entire summer, and nobody was prepared for it. So a lot of the people who were doing rodents didn't have the capacity to, cool these rooms that were, it was like, we might as well have been in Jamaica, it was that hot. It was crazy. And, people were going out and it was like the whole, all of Ontario. So I was trying to go rent like a cooler or going to rent extra. Everything was sold out. Nobody had in August, like air conditioners for sale because the stores take that out. So, right. Everyone's production was there. They it was low. They lost rodents. They weren't breeding in the heat. So I was told that I had to breed every second year. I mean, I could get my order every second week. And I'm like, no, I'm used to feeding every week. This is going to kill me. And it's like, how long is this going to be? And it's like, I don't know, 2-3 months. And I'm like, no, it's going to screw my breeding season at the end of the year and everything like that. So I started noticing, I get these rodents and I feed every other week, and I'm sitting there looking and I'm like, I think these things are growing or they're not losing weight and they're eating all the time. I saw more of my animals eating instead of sometimes they would pass on that meal every week. And I'm just, wow. And if you look at my old videos, probably I'd say 6-7 years ago on my ARS racks, I had yellow letters or numbers. And every month I was weighing them because I'm like, listen, are these things actually gaining weight, me feeding them less twice a week? And they actually were. And I had no problems with my breedings and my clutches. So I decided to start I'm saving money. They're eating less. They're going to the bathroom less. They're growing to me the exact same. And I'm still not seeing anything wrong. So I went to every other week. The only time I really fed ASFs back then was when I had that picky eater. And that's why ASFs are only for picky eaters. And if you put a normal animal on ASFs, they'll never go back to rodents. So we were all scared to do it. And then, when Austin, when his collection was here, he started doing ASFs a bit. And people were talking about ASFs, high in protein. You don't need, a big ASF. Well, if ASFs only get this big as adults, you need to feed 3 or 4. And it's like, no, you don't. And with us sharing all this information and people like, oh, I do this and I notice this. Hey, I feed every 2 weeks too, and I notice a big difference. When we're sharing all this information, people are like, well, let me try it. Holy shit, this actually works. And then about 2 years ago, Austin went to pretty much all ASFs. And I would do rats, then ASFs. And every like 6 to 8 weeks, my rodent guy would say, hey, I have 1,000 mice, adult mice, $1 a piece if you take them all. I can't freeze them. I have no more space. You want them for $1 a piece? I'm like, bring them. And I would feed them mice. I would feed them ASFs. 2 weeks later, I'd feed them rats. And I would say 90% would just take whatever I fed them, especially feeding them every 2 weeks. So after doing that for a year, I saw Austin after what he did for a year, and it's like his animals, especially his males, were getting the size faster. They were growing, they were getting bigger clutches, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm on the ASF train now.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed.
Yeah, and now I'm just ASFs, but as of maybe 2 months ago, and I'm going to do this every 6 weeks, I'm just going to bring in a bunch of small rodents, Norwegians, and just feed my adult room and some of my 800 to 1,000 gram females, just to get them an extra different meal, as well as a little bit more fat. And then, three, every other week I do ASFs, and then I do a big rodent. And that should, cover me for about 2 months, those 4 feedings, 3 ASFs and 1 rat. And it's been fine. I just did it again. And I got 500 smalls in for my adults. And I think about 50 didn't take. So I end up taking those and feeding them off to some others. And today, actually, earlier, I went and grabbed ASFs, and anything that didn't take a Norwegian, I grabbed a big ASF, threw it in there, and I think about 41 out of the 50, roughly, took an ASF. So I take the reds off because, to me, a meal is a meal. But I would like to be able to get that extra fat and an extra, type of food source. Mm-hmm. But being ASFs, seeing what Austin's done, me in the past, and just noticing over years, and not just with a few animals, with thousands of, or if not hundreds of animals, with Austin had like 700-800 animals doing it, and just watching how they thrived on ASFs only. Will Moreau's another Canadian breeder, Royal Canadian Reptiles. He's the same thing, a huge believer in ASFs. And he's like, dude, man, it's crazy. More protein, you don't have to feed him a very big meal. And I think they do better on them, but I don't have the exact statistics, but enough where I'm content feeding mainly ASFs and watching other people, and especially you hear other people, oh, I do ASFs too, and it's great. I do this, I do that. I switch it up here and there. We can all change and modify it to the way we want, but I do think there is a benefit in feeding ASFs, especially over big rodents, Norwegians, every week. I don't like the every week thing for me. I do that for my hatchlings up to about 200 grams. And then after, it's every other week.
Yeah, I've really noticed that also. I was feeding small rats to 2,000 gram females. I was feeding small rats once a week. Then I went to the ASFs once every 2 weeks. And I've noticed them growing about the same. So I really.
And their food response is always on. When you feed every 2 weeks, they're eating. I don't have that 1,000 gram wall anymore. I haven't had that in about 5-6 years. No 1,000 gram wall, because every 2 weeks they're actually empty and they're hungry. Yeah. And it's great. I swear by it.
With the ASFs, have you noticed? I know some people feed lower protein and some people feed the higher protein.
I'm a higher protein. I'm 31%. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, and then again, I don't know if it makes a huge difference. I haven't done statistics, but I've had some other people message me say, "Hey, Billy, man, like your ASFs get bigger and your clutch size, and I mean, wow, like they're really thriving." And I'm like, "What's your protein at?" And they're like 23, and I'm like, "Well, I'm 31. Here, try this stuff." And they call me back like a month or so later, go, "Holy shit, dude, thanks for the tip," because But then I have other people that feed 23%, same as the rats, and they're doing fine too. So I don't have the numbers or the stats. I just know what I do works, and we tweak it or try stuff out. And the person that taught me has been doing this for 7 years, 8 years, right?
We appreciate all your knowledge and letting us know. And because some people like, no, I'm not going to tell you, what I'm doing, stuff like that. But we really appreciate it. So,
well, that's the thing. Like everything I try to do is, I use this cocoa. Why? Because I prefer it. I don't like this because of that. I do this. I cut my eggs because of this. Doesn't mean I never say you have to use this. You have to have professional racks. Cocoa's the best cocoa, the best substrate over anything else. You have to use that. Yep. You better cut your eggs. You got to use this. You better do that. That's not me. Yeah, exactly. I just want to put information out there and listen to other people's and try it. Because if you're doing cocoa like I am here in Canada, trying to get the humidity up, try doing that in Texas.
Right.
You don't want any more fucking humidity in Texas. You're trying to get it out. I mean, if there was a way we could bottle, some of the hot states, Arizona and Texas and, places like that, and bottle it up and bring it up here, I mean, I'd be a buyer. You ship me your fucking, the stuff you don't want. You're making an income now. Bring it here, and I just open it up in the room, and my humidity's up, man. It'd be awesome.
Right.
For someone that's starting out, they've been doing breeding stuff for a few years, and they're looking for displays. What's something that like you would really look for if you were start? Because I know you've been around the game for a while with different deli cups, displays, and stuff like that. Is it like lighting that people really look at? Is it just a display in general when someone comes up to your table?
I think it's a combination of everything. The way you're set up, your banner, how inviting it is. Mm-hmm. You do need good lighting. I did shows. All my displays were ARS. I have 12 ARS displays. And for about 4 years, I didn't do any lighting because you see people that had the ones like on the arm, like the desk lamp ones.
Yeah.
And it gives it like a yellow tone, or it shadows or the bulb is burnt out, and it takes you forever to try to go on there. And after 2 or 3 shows, it's like, you're zip tying it or taping it because the springs are so shitty. And me going to other people's booths, like, man, this is so nice, except these fucking lights are so ghetto. And I didn't want to do that. So I vended without any lights for like 5 years. And then all of a sudden, I'll go to Tinley in 2016 and I start seeing like the JSA, the lighting guys, man. I'm like, wow, JSA Reptiles, big shout out to them. And I'm like, man, these are awesome. So I messaged Justin and a few other people that they're great. They're nice and, thin and it doesn't really, you don't walk up and it's blinding the snakes, or you can't see, or there's no shadow. They're nice and thin. So you're not really looking at these big honking light systems. So I'm like, wow, I called them up and I need 12 of them. And they're like, what, you want it for the CRBE? Well, yeah, we'll actually come up to the CRBE and we'll bring them and set them up for you. I'm like, really? Awesome. And it's like, yeah. So they came up and hung out and, at the get together at the old facility. That's when they came and showed me how to set them up. And I'm like, wow, this is like customer service times 10, and I got to meet them in person, and they were into boas and they were transitioning into the ball python. So they asked questions. We did some dinners. We all hang out. It was awesome, but got those lights and they're amazing.
Yeah, I don't like those real bulky lights. I knock them off, and my foot gets wrapped up in it, and I'm trying to show a snake to a customer and knocking it off. It's like I just leave the damn thing off of there. So
I think banner, table display, a nice lighting. If you don't have good lighting, don't have any. Like I think trying to add more, it and I didn't want to, when I walked around, and here's a tip to everybody, and I tell this to a lot of people. people are going to vend if they're in this industry to breed, and they want to, that's their stepping stone. Let me make some stuff. Let me get proof of concept. Let me breed, make sure I can do it. Wow, now I got babies. Now let me start getting displays and a banner and well, how do I do it? Like, well, go to shows, walk around, you pay your admission, you walk around and go, wow, I love this guy's setup. What do I love about it? Okay. I don't like this. I like this. I don't like that. And guess what? Figure out a formula. You see what you hate. You see what you like. You see what that like, it looks so much nicer if this and that. And then you formulate it with your goals and what you want to, brand your a company as, and have it where, is it inviting? I don't have chairs at my booth. I don't have chairs. You know why? Because every fucking show when I used to go to, 90% of the motherfuckers were sitting there at the back, doing
that or on the phone.
And I get it, right? I didn't want to be that because I didn't like that. So guess what? If there's no chair, there's no sitting. I have to be there. I have to engage. Yeah. And you find that. And some people will do a show and say, I don't know how people do this. I fucking hate it. I don't want to do shows. You don't know until you try.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go out and do it, you want to do it and come out like, bam, look at me. Here I am. How you doing? Here's my snakes. Nice to meet you. Can I help you? And get your name out there. There's a lot of people out there that are new. Bear from Red Onion Reptiles. Same thing. Went out there, display this, bam. Brittany from Fire Baby. There's so many people on my Patreon that, here you go, and they're doing this, and they're learning, and it's like, oh, I made a mistake here, but I'm going to do this differently next time. Bash Coder, Craig.
Yeah.
He did his first show. That guy. He did his first show, and he's like, yeah, I fucked up a little, but it was great. I didn't make a sale, but someone called me after, and then the next show I sold more, and he did. People think you go to an expo to sell.
Everything.
That's great. Yeah. You want to sell, but you go there to meet people, to network, to brand yourself, to get your face out there in front of people so that they can see you. Display animals in real time that's not photoshopped or enhanced or holy shit, and answer their questions. And guess what? When you do that, okay, and you look for that, it gets better and better, And Craig said that one time I was on a live or on one of our Patreon meetings. He's like, I went and I found a few mistakes that I made. And then the next time, and he got better and better at it. And that's what you do. You figure it out as you go. Make little changes.
Yeah, the first year me and my daughter started, we went around to the different shows, starting to network, get to know people, really look at everybody's displays. And I was like, hey, because I can't see, and I told her, hey, is that lighting pretty bright? She goes, well, yeah, but it needs this. Okay, let's look at this display. We're talking to different people, and they, like Brian was set up to me next time about a year ago, and he had animal plastics. So I was like, all right, Brian, do you mind if I touch it? No, I don't. And certain things I like. I really like that, but just different displays really shows.
Yeah, Mike, if you're gonna have someone do lighting, have someone else, not a blind guy, because it's like, you walk up to Brian's display and it's like, holy shit, like what the hell are these? Like he's got high beams and fucking cars.
Looks like starburst, So I have my daughter, she helps me not, with everything, identifying the morphs, stuff like that, doing the driving. So she's
now. Do you find that difficult? Are you colorblind or like what type of blindness do you have? Are you full blind or you half blind?
I have retinitis pigmentosa. Has to do with the retina. Like the old-fashioned TVs, how they would go out, that they would come in and come in and come in.
Okay, yeah.
Then I have cataracts on top of that. I can see light and stuff like that. Just depends on how bright it is. Like pied, I can see a little bit of the white of the pied, but that's probably about it. So
doing that, I mean, you rely mostly on your daughter and others to help you ID.
Yep. Awesome. Good friends like Brian and Brad and Sean, just different people like that, to send them pictures or FaceTime them. Hey, what do you think this is?
Oh my God!
Can I make a blind joke right now? Do you mind, Mike?
No, you're good. No, you're
No,
good, man.
the reason is I'm just saying it's like,
I know that.
you know, I get a text message. It's like, Bling, hey, Billy, it's me, Mike. Hey, brother, what's going on? Do you mind helping me ID this snake? Cool. I'm like, bro, that's your dog. You know what I mean?
So, yeah.
I had to. Sorry, man.
No, man. No, you're good. I don't mind at all. I cut up all the time. So
No, and it's awesome because I see you always on my live. You're always on my live, and it's like, hey, man, you know, it's the blind guy. I'm like, I remember, dude. But I mean, it's got to be hard because, I mean, there's people, you know, that have great eyesight and fucking can't ID. So don't feel bad, my man. Don't feel
like
bad.
I said, I don't let it stop me. You know,
100%.
Networking, and you know, so it just keeps me more motivated to do more and push myself.
That's awesome. Yeah,
so and I appreciate you. You know,
and don't make, you know, like, oh, you know, I'm blind. Oh, I have PTSD. I have this. I have that. Like, I can't do this. Yes, you fucking can.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay in the house and let it stop me, man. So
no, that's amazing. I love it.
Yep.
He's blind. I have the PTSD, and he's just mad.
Yeah.
So.
And it don't stop none of the three of us. So.
Oh no, no.
No, but that's good, Mike. I'm glad that you know it's amazing that you have a passion and you can't even really see the animals where most of us, you know, that's one of the reasons what keeps us going is the creativity and the color. And it's amazing that you can still be as passionate as you are, and you don't even see what gives us that drive, right? And coloration. I think it's awesome.
And a lot of people says, "Well, aren't you scared of getting bit? What am I getting scared of getting bit? I can't see it coming anyhow." You know, when you can see it coming, you know you're going to get nervous and stuff like that. You know, don't worry about it. It's just reach in there and grab it.
That's it, man. That's awesome. That's the way you should do. I do it anyways, right?
Yeah, the only other person,
it's going to bite you whether you can see or not, right?
Exactly.
It's not fucking. Oh, this guy's blind. We can't bite him. Oh, it'll fucking bite him. Yeah, it will.
The only other person
what
that
was
I
that?
knew that was. Go ahead, Sean.
I think I was at St. Louis last week or the week before. Speaking of animals biting, I had this girl. She's like 2 years older than not Journey, but Shannon. Like 2 years older than her. And they're looking at this banana hypo boy I made this year, and she's like, "I really like it," and it's a hatchling, right? And Shannon usually works a lot with the animals, so they don't really bite. They're not really known for biting at people. They're used to being handled. Yeah. And this girl's sitting here holding it. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna buy the snake. Cool. The snake goes like this and bit her. And I tried putting alcohol in his mouth, and he wasn't letting go. So I grabbed his tail and I went, and he let go right away. And I was like, damn. In my head, I was like, oh, that's it. So they left, and an hour before the show ended, they're like,
he came back.
Is he still available? I was like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, we're going to take that one home. And I was like, awesome. My first snake was a Burmese python that bit me.
That's what I got.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other person that I knew that was blind, he's been doing it for a while, about 40 years, was Doug Matusak up in Ohio. Boas and ball pythons. I don't know if you know him or not.
No. But all right, is that all the questions you had?
That's it. Yeah.
All right, then Sean, do you have any questions?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how could I not?
Why it takes so long, Sean?
But first I'd like to say, Chris, if that was your introduction, man, I'd make it legendary too. But we love you, Chris. So, Billy.
Yes.
So what I want to know is, and a lot of people may or may not know it, but you literally have come from a guy who was staying in hotels to hang out, you know?
Yeah.
Was you kid at one point in your life? Like you were at the bottom of the fucking barrel at one point in your life.
Well, I mean, I was always doing well, right? I did well. I you know, grew my thing. I was making money. I was doing like 6 figures a year. It's like, wow, I finally got the hang of it, and I was investing, and things were paying off. Everything's great. And, you know, got an ultrasound, started doing this, learning how to use the ultrasound. My productivity went to the roof, and everything I paired, pretty much like 95% of what I paired at the right time laid. I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I was just building that momentum. Then my ex-wife, screwed me over, basically gave me an ultimatum, sign over the house, or, I'm fucking taking over the snakes, or I'm taking some of the snakes and all this stuff. And I was just like, whoa. So I ended up having to, sign over the house. There you go. It's yours. I just had to walk out, and, I had, 3-4 days to move the snakes. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like I don't even have a place to live, for fuck's sakes. Like, what am I supposed to do? So I put a post up on Facebook, and I had a customer of mine said, hey, it's nothing special, but we have an empty basement. Doesn't have walls up, but it's insulated. I mean, doesn't look the greatest, but I'm like, hey, beggars can't be choosers. And I brought my animals there. And at that time, moving and everything else, and assets were seized. So I was sort of screwed. So I had basically slept and worked in my my work van. And I went and got a gym membership. So every morning I would wake up, go to the gym, not to work out, but to shower, brush my teeth, and get ready for the workday. Go work. And that's what I did for about 3 months. And I would have my daughter every second weekend. And of course, nobody knew. It's not like, hey, yeah, come here. I'll get you a sleeping bag and I'll make more room. I'll move my tools over so you can, So I ended up getting a hotel. And after like the second week, her mother said, like, holy shit, like, how can you afford to stay in a hotel every night? I'm like, I'm not. She goes, yes, you are. Brienne says. I'm like, yeah, Brienne's, I am when I have her, but it's only 4 days a month. The rest of the month I'm sleeping in the van. She goes, no, you're not. I'm like, I'm not. She goes, no. And this is when I dropped her off. And I'm like, look, I opened up the back. I'm like, look, here's my sleeping bag. This is what, and she goes, holy shit, you can't do that. I'm like, well, what other fucking options do I have right now? You know what I mean? Like, I don't have the option to go, and do all that. So she's like, no, that's not right. And she basically said, you can stay here. You can sleep in your daughter's room. So for another 8 months after that 3, I slept in my daughter's room for 8 months, and she slept with her mom. So at that time, she would have been about 14 years old, because she's 26 now. So I basically stayed there and banked my money and worked harder and took more jobs, took night shifts. That's when I got into the Costco's and stuff, and really took off. And then from there, I just started going. And what's that?
Obviously, you didn't let that get you down too far.
Oh, it did get me down. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
more motivation.
Would have been, but what I guess the point I'm trying to get to is, like, you're cut from a little bit of a different cloth, man. A lot of people would have been very unable to get out of a rut like that, man. I understand the sleeping in the truck thing, man. I've done that. Like,
and it was sad. I was sad, right? It's like, why did I do this? What did I do to deserve this? Like, I don't really remember it all, but it wasn't easy. It was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. Like, you're sad, you're depressed, you're wondering what you did wrong, and I wanted more, and I just didn't sit down. And that's why when people message me and say, I can't do this, it's bad, I'm like, you don't know how, well, you're mutation creation. I'm like, I am now.
But you weren't always.
I busted my ass, and that's the thing now is I've sacrificed every fucking weekend. Every day I'm at my facility. Every fucking day. And I don't stop. And now, I mean, I'm finally, I got my amazing puppy dog, Cleo. I put the phone down. I put the phone down. I take her for walks. I don't give a fuck if the phone's ringing. If it's an emergency, you can get me in 15 minutes when I come back to my phone. And that separation is like, wow. Now I take, Saturday, Sundays off. I'm trying to take, I have my my top 2-tier Patreon live Friday night, like last night. Right. From like 9 p.m. until, 12, 1 a.m. in the morning. So, there's no sense doing something and those 4. So, tomorrow, when I wake up and do some stuff in the afternoon, I've got stuff to do. I can take that day off. I can go out and do things. So I'm trying to take more time for myself over the weekend instead of having to do the 7 days. So I'm trying to set myself up where I've given 12 years of busting my ass, sacrificing weekends, sacrificing stuff to get where I'm at. And I don't regret any of it. But now my time is worth. I'm running out of time. I'm getting older. I'm 55 in April. I'm falling apart in a way where, one hernia surgery, I got to have another one. I thought I had the gallstones, but I do have gallstones, but that wasn't the attacks that I had. It was the diverticulitis. That's been done. I still have one surgery for my other hernia. And it's like, shit, man. Like, at 50, I needed glasses, hernias, this. It's like, whoa.
You got to 50 before you got. Wait a minute, man. Wow. You got all the way, dude. As soon as
all the way to 40, 50, and then I needed glasses.
As soon as I hit 40, my fucking headaches started coming in, and the check engine light was flashing. I was like,
I mean, now it's just, and I say it's people that are like, oh, I can't do that. Well, you don't want it bad enough. Like, it's easy to say it because I've done it, but it's not fucking easy. It wasn't like, oh, I wanted to do this, so I did it, and it was fucking easy. I'm still making fucking mistakes that I got to bounce back from. This isn't
the hardest
easy.
Part is learning how to sacrifice. A lot of people don't know how to do that just quite yet.
I don't drink, right? So I don't go out to the bars. I don't go out and go out, and I don't fish. I don't golf. I used to do all that shit, but I don't. I've given up golfing, camping, fishing, weekends, partying. I gave it all up for years because, I didn't have a fucking choice, because if I did that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. You got to sacrifice. And if you
100%. Then what do you do for fun right now then, Billy?
I'm having it right now. I'm doing a live stream with people that I want to share and connect with and laugh and joke and inspire. And, this is my free time.
Appreciate it.
This is my free time.
The place you came from, Billy, to where you are today, like, I kind of view you as like the freeway king, man. Like, when I first started catching your videos on YouTube, it was freeway. Everything was freeways, dude.
Still my favorite.
No,
freeway.
Look, half my collection is in the Yellow Belly complex because of why? Because of freeways, because of parkways, because of all of those different Yellow Belly complexes. And it's all because I used to watch videos on freaking YouTube, and you were just producing some of the nicest freaking animals.
I'm still making more combos. I'm excited about more freeway and super asphalt combos this year. Keep pushing it, and seeing other people do stuff. It's like, holy shit, look at that! It's inspiring to me.
To just come to be on that roller coaster you had, right, where you got all the way up to the top, and then kind of your first ex made you come back down into the valley again with all of us. But to climb your way out a second or even a third time, man, that takes a lot of intestinal fortitude.
It's drive, right? If you want something, you got to have it, right? Like I've lost relationships because it's like you see that meme, they're on the cliff and it's like, I do anything for you. Sell your reptiles, and fucking kicked off the cliff. That's me. And it's not easy. I've seen a lot of relationships break apart, and I've seen a lot of collections be sold because it's me or the snakes. Some people have taken the snakes. Some people have taken and got rid of the snakes. And I get it. People have families. I live and breathe this shit. My ex of just over 10 and a half years, she put up with not being around me, which is probably why we lasted so long, because I was here, I show up, and we have our time. But when we went away, and it was usually 4 or 5 times a year, we'd go on a vacation, and it was always high end, nice, amazing. And that's the time that we spent together. And, other than that, she's very motivated and in her career and doing phenomenal, and me as well in my own. And if it's a lot easy, because if I had someone in my life that was with me here all day and all night and at home and this, and it wouldn't last, because sometimes I'm an asshole. Sometimes, like this whole week with the Sabri shit going on, I'm like, you don't want to be around me when I'm in a mood or I have bad days. Just because I have a great collection and everything's well, Mutation Creation, everybody knows his name. Cool. I have fucking hard days too. I have shitty days. Things don't work for me sometimes. Things I don't understand. And that's why I fall on my Patreon people and I have the live. People like, I don't understand. Why do you have a live on a Friday night from like 9 o'clock until 4 hours? What do you guys talk about? I don't even fucking know and care. It's just hanging out with those people, their family.
You know what? And I've been part of some of them conversations, and some of them Look, I was asked by somebody a while ago, why the fuck are you willing to pay this man all that money for his Patreon? And I told him this, because he's my professor and I'm going to school and I want to learn this game and I don't know nothing about it. I just went and bought like 200 fucking ball pythons and they're all hellfires. So let's get some, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my God,
people make mistakes like that. They
the
don't
thing
know what
is I've even used you an example on many things. When you first got into this, you know, I gave you homework and then it's like you came. And when James helped and came in and my other Patreon people came in and started helping out and critiquing and giving you guidance. Cause you know, some people, you know, would need it more than others and stuff. And when it all came in, holy shit, within 3-4 months, you did a fucking 360, maybe even a 1080. Like it was like night and day. And that's the thing. It's like, if you don't realize what you're doing wrong, you know, that one mistake, and you've bought many animals from me. So a lot of the stuff too, that you've gotten from discounts pretty much paid for your Patreon or should have.
Basically. You know? And then like another thing too, Troy and Margaret, I was vending at the St. Louis NARBC just at the last one here.
Yep.
And I had the privilege of getting to sit next to them. I was actually on that Patreon when you had Troy come in from Balls
awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
And gave his little breakdown. Now, Mike had asked earlier about displays and whatnot, right? I had just dealt with mites. So I figured my first 2 shows back, 3 shows back, I'm just going to go to my old tubs with the paper towels. They're white. They're paper towels. Showing everybody, hey, they're good. And actually, I've had more interaction with them tin cups than I do with my beautiful ARS displays that I paid $500 a piece for. You know what I mean? They weren't cheap. And I'm up there with tin cups, man. And I've got people all around. And the one thing I remember Troy and I talked about at the show is I had the orange on the side of my ARSs, right? And he's like, that should be clear. And I'm like, you know what? Even with all this mite stuff, and I had started coming out with telling people, you know, we have some issues, and I'm actually making videos with Brian now to put on my Patreon so people can get a little help. Because if you don't do it right, you're going to do it again and again and again and again. And it's like
Troy taking that.
What's
Troy
that movie with Bill Murray?
Groundhog Day. Taking shots at me. It's coming, right? Like I'm that's another thing too, is I've got let's see, 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 clutches in the incubator right now, and I've got 68 gravid, and I'm still pairing probably over 100. So
we're getting videos again, or what, bro?
Yeah, and the new format, like the one I just did, I'm gonna do the egg cutting, let them come out, and then, you know, do a stage 2. Like, so instead of like, hey guys, wait for the fucking the update in another video. See ya. And then it never comes because I never get around to it. Now it's gonna be
fly me out there. I'll come do all your edits. Me and Brian will get that.
Oh, I got an awesome guy doing it. I'm not worrying about that. It's just waiting for the content. There's a bunch of stuff that I want to do now. Like, I've got a bunch of mail and shirts for the last 5 months that's been here that I want to do a Mail Monday, or, you know, I'm trying to think of another regular show like that I can do that's more interactive with giving shout outs to people and doing like pick of the week.
That was the other thing I loved about you too. When you first came out, you were always like, "Hey, shout out to blah blah
I'm
blah."
Gonna do that,
and then
still
you're like,
on every video.
On the back or not slacking. You know what I mean?
And Craig and I do that on you know, our channel every Monday at 7.
Yeah, the MCMC. Yeah.
And you know,
great show, by the way.
I'm gonna do stuff like that. I always want to do that. I want to shout people out. I want to, you know, do things to, you know, motivate people, or say, hey, guess what? Oh my God, I'm a little person, Billy. Like, it's incredible when I just give somebody a follow, and they're like, oh my God, like, oh my God, I've been a fan for you. I can't believe you followed me. I'm like, keep posting awesome stuff.
I remember that was my first feeling when you
And it's
actually
amazing
followed
that I
me.
have that I guess gift that I can just do that and make people like, oh my God, Billy's following me. And it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I sent you a friend request, and I thought it was a scammer who they accepted. Or, you know, I was like, holy shit, this is Billy. Wait a minute.
Yeah, and it's funny because like even now, I still go on when I have time, and I'll go in and I'll look, and it'll say recommended, you know, and I'll say, oh, here's a person. A lot of times too, there's a lot of new people that follow me, and when I have time, I'll look. They've got 3 posts. I don't follow them because I want to see you get skin in the game. You got 15, 20 posts and you start posting more, because I'm not following somebody to watch your 3 posts that I've seen 10 fucking times. Like I follow people to see them post, to see what they're doing. And you know, if you're just starting out now and I'm not following you, I will if you keep putting in the work. Right. And if you put up stuff that I don't want to see, I'm not following you. And, you know, like right now, there's a person I'm not following and I don't care to follow anymore on any of the socials, you know, and that's just the thing. You know, you have the choice to follow people. Some people don't like how I'm so blunt in your face. And guess what? I'm hyperactive and I'm not trying to change who I am. I have ADHD, mild Tourette's, OCD. You know, I love myself, and I'm gonna be who I am. I'm not gonna. This is the same way I am on camera and off of camera. You don't like it, then don't follow me. I don't do this for friends. You know, I run a business that I love doing, and if people follow me and support me, fucking awesome. You don't see me begging for people. Please follow me. Please support me. You don't like it? Hey, cool. Because there's people that I don't like to follow and I don't want to support, and no one's gonna make me change my mind. And you know. That's it. And you know what? You've seen me yell at Patreon people.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I have.
You know what? If I'm gonna sit there and just like I'm gonna just say everything like no, you fucking listen to me because you're doing it wrong. And there's many ways, but you need to understand what the fuck you're doing, because you're gonna waste time and money that no one has enough of. And I'm yelling at people. And remember that time when we had a chat and no one was listening to me? And everyone was laughing about some shit. It was funny, but it was in the chat. And I'm like, guys, if I see that fucking anyone in the chat post anything for the next fucking half an hour, I'm kicking you off of fucking Patreon and giving you your money back. You know?
Oh yeah.
Remember? I'm like,
because
you're
you were
here
on
to
there and everybody was in the chat.
And I said, if you want to sit there when we're trying to learn and shit, and people are asking questions, and you're gonna distract people in like the classroom in the chat. You want to fucking go around and talk about stupid shit and jokes in the chat? Do it on a fucking live stream where no one gives a shit. You know what I mean? Where people are hanging out. People are here to learn. Shut the fuck up. And if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but you know, you're not going to do well not understanding what's going on. And I think I made that clear with that video. And you know, and I got a whole new thing that I'm trying to work on and get rolling this year. I was already hoping it was rolled out yet, but I want people to learn and understand that, you know, this is a grind. This isn't fucking easy. This isn't just buying snakes and selling snakes. You got to breed them. You got to, you know your cost. You got to forecast. You got to have a business. You got to have a goal. You got to have a path, a plan. And it's not easy.
You know, and you got to go to shows.
You got to market yourself. You got to go to shows. You got to grind. You got to network. You got to brand yourself. You got to answer emails. You got to take hits. You got to take fucking shots in the chin.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you yell at them,
on the business, is this not what you wear?
Yeah.
You're married.
Exactly. But like,
not everybody's meant to have a big business. Not everybody's meant to be a breeder. Not everybody's meant. You can be successful having a small rack or a small collection, breed, spending time with your families, enjoying your weekend. If that's success to you, fucking bravo. Because, you know, my success didn't have weekends, didn't have trips. I sacrificed a lot. I chose that. Okay.
Right.
Okay. And don't let anybody think, oh, if you don't have your own facility or you don't do this, if you know, everybody's success is in the eyes of the beholder, right? You know, don't let anybody, if you think you're successful and you're happy, don't let anyone shit on your fucking parade. You know?
Yep. And like I was going to say and that's why you yell at the people in the Patreon, is because you're so passionate.
I want them to learn, because I keep saying the same fucking thing, and people are sending me their lists, and I'm like, are you guys not fucking paying attention? And I went on.
They're paying for the interaction, Billy, not the education.
But I hate seeing people fail. And guess what? And I know this for a fucking fact. Sean and many people. I can give a huge shout out to Brian at Boop and Snoots as well. If you guys, when I put that video of how to get into breeding projects properly, breeder 1, 2, 3, imagine you guys didn't listen, the fucking condition you'd be in right now with the market. People sold animals and got out of that projects almost at the right time, because if you just learn that shit now, it'd already be too late. You guys would be fucked.
Yes.
I didn't even know what a project was when I came to you, remember?
So people that listened and did that, holy shit, like, wow, I got less animals. I'm making less stuff that I can't sell. And that was years ago. Imagine you guys didn't, with the position you'd be in now, having the stuff that nobody wanted and you couldn't even sell and you got to take care of.
The more you have to feed.
I want people to do well. And you know what? If people don't understand how this works, or at least some sort of understanding, it doesn't have to be the way I teach, but at least bits and pieces and have your own way. You need to understand how this works or what to do. This isn't just, I got money, I'm going to spend it on these animals. There's so much more than spending money and selling animals and breeding. There's so much more. And the bigger you get, you better understand the more sacrifice you have to fucking have. These are live animals. I got upset at my daughter. We had a snowstorm. She was sick. And I'm like, hey, guess what? I'm fucking sick. I'm not feeling well. Snowstorms. I'm affected by the snowstorm too. Guess what? I'm fucking here doing what I have to do, and I'm doing your shit.
Right.
Because the animals, it's my responsibility. And guess what? No matter what, I have to do it. Thank God I got a great team and people that are here. But guess what? And I understand people get sick and stuff. But guess what? It's frustrating because, it still has to get done. Well, I can't do it any other day. Well, then next time, if you can't do it on another day, you're going to fucking come in and suck it up, because that's what I'd have to do,
Right. Now, I had a question for you real quick, Billy. What financial matrix or KPIs do you track most closely to assess the health and growth of your business?
Say that again.
All right. What financial matrix or KPIs do you track most closely to assess the health and growth of your business?
So that's another thing that I am not I'm not an expert at this. Nobody sat there and said, here you go. Here's all this. I'm not a business guy. I'm a guy that has a passion and I want to do stuff. And I do it. And when something fucks up, I try to fix it to get going. So what I do is I look at the costs of what it takes me to run my business. Okay. And I see what I need to make in order to, to keep that going. I also like to see that, I know where my break even is, what I need to come up with. And one thing that I've always sort of made a mistake with is, and I guess it's because I didn't really have a good grip on my time and my scheduling, which I've got a way better grip on it now, is I'll do something and it's like, wow, I have a big sale come in. It's like, oh, wow, this will last me 3 months. And then I don't concentrate on sales for 2 months because I'm okay. But guess what? If I don't concentrate on sales and put animals up, guess what? I don't make sales in 2 months. I should continue. But then I put my focus into something else and I do this and, let me renovate this. Let me do this. And it's like, oh, shit, it's 2 months. In another month, I'm running out of money. Oh, now let's go back into sell mode. You should always be in sale mode. I'm trying to do things where Mondays and Fridays, I'm trying to answer emails and messages if I can. I'm trying to do it where, say, Fridays, I go and take pictures and do a morph market drop or something, and things like that. so that I know that, hey, you know what, money's always coming in, but I've always done that. Oh, I've made enough. I don't have to worry about. I can do other stuff because there's always at this level. There's always so much to do. There's never enough time in the day. So to do it right, I don't think I'm doing it right. I wish I knew it a little bit better. So I'm just trying to do it where. It's been good. Everything I've done so far has been great. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were all doing phenomenal compared to now. Thank God I invested into commercial real estate, Husbandry Pro. We opened up the Gopher Cocoa. So I got diversity, and I invested into, more animals and I'm going to start seeing the rewards. And, I got into business with 2 other people in the U.S. and I'm trying to do stuff there, open up in Europe and do other things. So I'm diversified, and it's not just one dimensional. So thank God I invested it wisely when it was there, and now I'm starting to see little bits and pieces from all that come in. So it takes time. It's not like, oh, I'm going to buy this and cool, I'm getting paid tomorrow. No, it takes time. You buy a female, it's a hatchling. You hold it back, oh my God, I need this. I'm holding it back. It's not for sale. Guess what? 2-3 years until you get your investment back.
It takes money to make money.
And it definitely does. So, thank God I invested when I had the money. Now things are the market's picking up. And I've got a lot of us Canadians got a lot of, hurdles to go over. We can't ship to the States for 4 months, and even shipping into the States it's a way more of a cost. There's a lot of things that our market's not, not even close to your market. Most, if not 90-95% of my animals go to the United States. So, it's just with all the hurdles and everything else, it's not easy. I'm always trying to change things and do it better. And I don't really have all the answers because I'm still trying to figure it out,
And now, you, Craig, and I do believe quite a few other people, I do believe Adam from Proper Royals, you guys are working on something a little epic that's going to be dropping on April 4th. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
I'm not really, but so I'm one of the speakers. I'm basically in it. Craig came to me with an idea a long time ago. And I'm like, wow. And, he got motivated. He got motivated from something Chris Eaton said, and it's like, wow, yeah, you know what? And I've said it on my live streams, now that it's out, but there's so many amazing people. Brian Cusco, you got Adam from Wicked Reptiles. You've got Proper Royals. You've got even Dave Kaufman's, sharing with new people. You've got Snake Discovery. They're people that I guess are the best, I think, to go out, have content, to bring new people in, to do that. I'm the guy and just the way I am. If you are in this industry and you want to take it to another level, I'm the type of guy to get there. I'll bring new people in because they just see how excited I am with my egg cutting or stuff. I've got a lot of people into this industry, but that's not my target. My target is to just do what I do, be who I am, like me or not. I'm not changing or making stuff up for the camera. Here's what we do. If you want to be serious, come to a Patreon, mine or some other, or a bunch, and learn and say, hey, I like the way this guy teaches. He's no shit, or no, he's a little too much for me, or find your guru or your mentor, someone that connects, or a Patreon that has a group that's going to be there for you. So I'm somebody that I would like to be able to bring new people in, but that's not my concentration. My concentration is my knowledge and my fuck ups, my drive, what I love, what I don't love. I'm not afraid to say, hey, I'm not a fan of Sunset. I'm not a fan of Monarch. Doesn't mean it's shit. It just, but and the reason why I don't like it, because it doesn't appeal to my projects. I don't think adding that will add any value to what my tastes are and what I want to do to bring that project forward. Now, you telling me people that are in Sunset, Monarch, and Zebra aren't doing okay? Just because I don't like it and I'm not in it doesn't mean,
right.
Oh, Justin isn't into this gene. Oh, it's no good. Yes, it is.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Justin isn't in certain genes because he chooses not to be. And I would guarantee that's because it doesn't fit with the vision he has.
Right. And even no matter how big you guys are as breeders, you guys can't work everything.
No. And no. And I breed because I want to make the stuff that I like. And when I hit it, great. And everything else that I don't want, that's what you guys get, guys. That's what's for sale. The odd time, and I shouldn't say the odd time because, damn fucking bad Santa, Red Onion Royals, reptiles. He's always taking my good shit, but I'm glad it goes to him, man. You know what I mean? If it's going to anybody, my holdbacks and the stuff I don't want to sell, I'm glad it's going to him, man, because, he's just awesome. Us old farts or old shits got to stick together.
yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, buddy.
So my last question for you, Billy, which if you've watched my podcast before is usually a little bit more fun, more lighthearted. So if you had to start a new line of genetics, a modified animal that you could make moonwalk like Michael Jackson, what would be the first creature you created and how would you price it?
So what creature? You mean like genetically or like what? Any type of animal?
Any type of animal that can moonwalk like Michael Jackson.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go with the fucking kangaroo. I want to see a fucking kangaroo.
Moonwalk like Michael Jackson. Now,
moonwalk like Michael Jackson. And then I'm going to beat it up. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do the wannabe fighting martial arts wannabe.
Right. So how would you market something like that?
Well, I put animal. How could you not? First of all, if you have a fucking moonwalking kangaroo, I don't think you really need to market it much. But I'd probably put a red and black leather jacket on it and a shiny glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it'd be pretty.
Awesome. That's funny as hell. That is.
But I think the best part wouldn't be that. It'd be like, and after the show, me and him are gonna go toe to toe. I think that's what the draw would be is seeing the fucking kangaroo and me go at it after the moonwalk.
I'm definitely paying attention to that. Yeah. Sean, did you have any more questions for him?
Man, don't ask me that. We'll be here all night. I could pick this guy's brain all day and night. Thank you, Billy, so much, man. I so appreciate it.
Anytime. Like I said, I mean, like, it's funny because I've been trying to, and I like that there's so many people trying to get into this space. It's not easy. It's not going to be like, oh my God, like, I'm famous overnight. It takes time. You get better. You get more comfortable. There's so many things that are coming out now. Big shout out to Irresistibles. Nikki and Kurt and they've got, I was on earlier today before you, Angel and you got Lace Balls and they got different shows and they're trying to put out stuff. There's so many people, the Whiskey Bomb Network, it's fucking nuts. Like, there's so many people getting into this space and elevating it. Herb collectors, like, holy fuck, man. When he first got into the game, it was just like, hey, look where he is now. You know what? And that's just not because he was lucky, because they learn, they grind. It's like me. I want to do this. Let me find a way. You know what? This didn't work. Let me add this. Let me switch this up. I don't like this. Let me back it up. They're grinding. They're putting in the work. And you know what? The content's awesome. And that's one thing I said when I got back into doing MC, my channel, my content. I didn't want to bring people on because guess what? That's what everyone else is doing.
Right.
I just go on yapping, and I finally got an amazing co-host with Craig, Bash Coder. We come on in and, we do our thing. People show up, and guess what? Ask questions. We'll talk about shit. I'll do a rant if something pisses me off. And it's just a space to hang out. And that's what I do. Right.
Right.
I mean, that's how I met Mike, and stuff like that. And it's like, it's great because I don't want to compete and do the same thing and ask the same questions over and over that everyone else does to the same guest, but it's a different month. Yeah, we know what got you into the ball python game. We know what your favorite morph is. We know what you're like. It's the same repetitive shit. And I didn't want to do that. And, some people don't tune in because it's like they got enough of me. And I get it, but I'm not changing.
I got a question.
Sure.
You probably get it all the time, Billy. When the fuck are you coming to the States?
Oh, fuck. There you go. Yeah, so I've got so many other things now that have been sidetracked. Like I'm looking at another building to purchase so that I can move Mutation Creation to I'd like to say its final destination. I thought this would be, but so that's taking a lot of my time up and looking into stuff, downsizing, getting into things, breeding season, it's a lot, and I'm trying to do some other stuff, and I'm taking time away for myself, spending more time with my dog, and dating, and there's just so much, right? So you got to have that balance. I'm not even close. I don't even know if I'm balancing it right or where I just go with the flow and try to get shit done.
Where is that pretty ass dog at anyways, man?
She's right now with my ex. Yeah, so we share the dog every once in a while. Rights. Yeah, so and my little girl, she is on her second heat. So one more heat in like 6-7 months, and I'm gonna breed her once and have little babies. And I'm gonna love it. I haven't bred dogs in about 20 years. I used to breed English bulldogs and Chihuahuas.
What kind of dog do you have now?
I have a pocket bully.
Chihuahuas are horrible, man.
So, looking forward to that.
Well, thank you for coming on the show, Billy. I'm going to go ahead and put you backstage, and we're going to wrap this up.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate it, and everybody in the chat.
See you Monday night, baby.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And before we wrap up tonight, we're going to end this off with a new segment that we're starting out called Brad's Breeder Shout Out. So Brad didn't come in tonight, but our breeder shout out tonight is Audacious Balls. And she actually sent in us a little reel, so we're going to go ahead and play that for you.
Hi folks, my name is Stephanie Merrihew of Audacious Ball Pythons. You can find me over on Instagram at Audacious Ball Pythons. First and foremost, I want to say a big thank you to the guys here at Sky's the Limit Network, Brian Gillis of Sky High Morphs, Brad Inbody, Frontline Reptiles, Mike Duvall of Morph Avenue, and Sean Fuller of SJS Exotics. Thank you so much, guys, for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. As I am getting more involved in the community, getting to know more people, I say that above all, I am just really humbled at the realization of just how much I still have to learn, and at how much time so many have devoted to this hobby, to their businesses. It is definitely a bit overwhelming at times just to realize like how much goes into running these businesses successfully and beyond what's involved in caring for and maintaining our animals, but just as in what people are putting into the social media side of things. Sometimes that feels a bit insurmountable, as that is really not my forte, editing videos and things in particular, and so looking at all these different avenues that I'm really going to need to step up in learning about it's a lot. So with that, I am going to be registering for Epic coming up in April here, and I am definitely going to be tuning in to their portions on marketing and all of that. But in the meantime, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I am currently residing with my husband Jeremiah and our 6 children in northern New Hampshire. Our kids range in age from our oldest just turned 18 this week all the way down to age 6. I have been breeding bull terriers since 2020, and I had started venturing into the ball pythons about a year ago now. So some of the genetics that I am working with in my program, I decided to use clown as sort of like my base. The recessives that I'm currently working with are clown, desert ghost, cryptic, krypton, hypopide, and TSK xanthic. And in addition to all of those recessives, I have a good amount of codoms in my program as well. So those include leopard. I love leopard, orange dream, yellow belly, red striped spot nose, pastel. I have a lot of pastel, and I will say that I'm not complaining personally. Fire, I've got some cinnamon, GHI, Mojave. I'm currently waiting on my first clutch to drop. I expected it sometime this week. So far it still hasn't happened, so I am very eagerly watching for that. We did get a couple of blocks this week with some pairings that we have. So I have a yellow belly desert ghost het cryptic going to a firefly het clown, and she is building some great follicles. I think we're getting really close to ovulation there, so I am really excited about that pairing. And then I also had a GHI Mojave yellow belly going to a cinnamon Mojave, and I am excited to see that pairing continue to progress as well. I'm not yet on Morph Market as a seller, so that is one of those things that I will be working towards here in the very near future. I do have some males that are going to be coming up here, like sub-adult males that are het desert ghost, 50% het krypton, maybe some het desert ghost and clown, with 1 or 2 codoms in them as well. So you can find me, as I said earlier, on Instagram at Audacious Ball Pythons. If you're watching Morph Market, sooner or later I'll get that going here before too long. Like the shirt says here, change begins with discomfort, and that's okay. I welcome and embrace it. So we're really looking forward to getting to know everyone.
All right. So that is our shout out for the week. She will be on the Big Homie Breakdown. We have her booked, and she will be doing a pop-in next week on the Hanging with the Homies. So with that, guys, you all have a great night. And remember, with hard work, determination, and positivity, your dreams too can become a reality.